At this very moment, only two space stations circle our planet, the aging ISS and China's Tiangong. But while one nears retirement, the other is rising fast. Built with advanced robotics, AI systems, and modular upgrades planned for 2026, Tiangong is quietly positioning China at the forefront of orbital science and technology. Could this be the future of human spaceflight? Let's dive right in. For years, the world saw SpaceX as the unstoppable force in space. Its reusable rockets, bold Mars ambitions, and Elon Musk's showmanship seemed to leave every other nation in the dust. But while SpaceX was captivating headlines, another power was quietly rewriting the playbook. Not through marketing, but through method. That power is China. High above Earth, their Tiangong space station has become more than an orbital outpost. It's a statement, a sign that China's rise in space isn't coming, it's already here. At first glance, Tiangong looks smaller than the ISS, but scale doesn't tell the real story. Efficiency does. Built for just $8 billion, Tiangong costs less than 3 years of the ISS's maintenance budget, yet it delivers modern systems the ISS could only dream of. Its Tianhe core module, launched in 2021, acts as the heart of the station, providing life support, propulsion, and control. Connected to it are Wentian and Mengtian, two advanced laboratory modules carrying more than 24 experiment racks. Inside, astronauts live and work in comfort. A private cabin, digital climate control, voice command computers, and autonomous power systems that adjust to sunlight in real time. Even the robotic arm, often compared to NASA's Canadarm2, isn't just a tool. It's a modular construction system capable of moving entire segments or assisting astronauts outside the station. Every detail was designed to maximize output while minimizing cost and risk. And this approach, practical, efficient, quietly relentless, is exactly what has SpaceX watching closely. China isn't stopping with 3 modules. In late 2026, Tiangong will transform into a 6-module cross-shaped complex. This expansion adds new docking hubs, 3D printers for orbital manufacturing, and AI-driven systems to monitor debris and reconfigure experiments automatically. Why does this matter? Because when the ISS retires around 2030, Tiangong could become the only operational national space station in orbit. And that means, for the first time in decades, the world's scientific gateway might not be American. That single fact shifts power. NASA will depend on commercial partners like Axiom and Blue Origin to fill the gap. But those are still in development. Tiangong, meanwhile, will already be fully operational, expanding, and hosting global experiments. SpaceX's Starship may dominate launches, but once those payloads reach orbit, they'll enter China's neighborhood. In the same year, 2026, another project joins the orbit, the Xuntian Space Telescope, often called China's Hubble on steroids. Its 2.5-meter mirror and ultra-wide optics will let it observe up to 40% of the visible sky, 5 times more than Hubble. But the true innovation isn't in the lens, it's in logistics. Unlike Western telescopes that require independent servicing missions, Xuntian will orbit alongside Tiangong and can dock directly for upgrades. That's revolutionary. It means China can repair, refuel, or upgrade its telescope without launching new missions, cutting costs and extending operational life indefinitely. SpaceX, despite all its advances, doesn't yet have a comparable system. Tiangong isn't just a space station anymore. It's becoming an orbital ecosystem where maintenance, science, and manufacturing coexist seamlessly, and that ecosystem is expanding faster than anyone predicted. Elon Musk once called the Raptor engine the hardest piece of engineering ever built. It uses a rare full-flow staged combustion cycle, a design so complex that only SpaceX and the Soviet Union ever made it work. Until now. In 2024, China's private firm Landspace successfully test-fired its BF-20 engine, running on methane and liquid oxygen, using the same full-flow principle. The engine reached 110 tons of thrust in early tests, aiming for 220 tons. the same level as SpaceX's Raptor 2. Shortly after, Space Pioneer, another Chinese startup, announced plans for a 300-ton full-flow engine, powered by kerosene and liquid oxygen, potentially the first of its kind. Meanwhile, state-owned developers are finishing the YF-215, a methane full-flow engine set to power the Long March 9, China's upcoming heavy-lift rocket designed for lunar and Mars missions. While SpaceX builds vertically, one massive rocket, one company, China builds horizontally, multiple engines, multiple companies, all coordinated under a single national strategy. It's not a copy. It's a parallel ecosystem, optimized for resilience. Hardware can be matched, but the real race, the one that decides who leads space in the 2030s, is about intelligence. Since 2024, Tiangong has been running in-orbit experiments with AI-powered automation and domestically designed chips built by Longsun. These 16 to 28 nanometer processors are not only radiation-hardened, but have reportedly outperformed Western equivalents in efficiency and stability. Why does that matter? Because controlling a space station autonomously, adjusting power, temperature, and life support systems without Earth input changes everything. While Starship still relies on extensive ground control, Tiangong is learning to self-manage, even performing predictive maintenance through onboard analytics. That's not science fiction. That's national infrastructure evolving into machine intelligence. And in that race, China might already be a few steps ahead. In September 2023, Tiangong hosted the Tiangong Classroom, live streaming physics experiments to over 2,400 students across China. It wasn't just outreach, it was symbolism. The message was clear: China's next generation will grow up with space as part of their daily life. While others treat space as an elite scientific domain, China treats it as public education. By 2025, the country will send its first foreign astronaut from Pakistan aboard Tiangong, opening the door for developing nations to participate in manned missions for the first time in history. This shift is geopolitical. The US-led ISS model primarily included wealthy nations. China's model includes those left out, a quiet but powerful redefinition of space cooperation. The result? While SpaceX opens Mars for billionaires, China opens low Earth orbit for everyone else. Every move China makes in orbit sends ripples through SpaceX's plans. Starship's success depends on a stable, US-led orbital environment. But if Tiangong dominates near-Earth research, testing, and international cooperation, it alters SpaceX's long-term market. Think about it. The ISS will retire. Private US stations are years away. Tiangong will already be the de facto gateway for microgravity science, materials testing, and space medicine. That means if SpaceX launches payloads, China might be the one receiving, analyzing, or partnering on those experiments. It's an unexpected reversal of roles, one that's happening faster than most experts predicted. Even Elon Musk, known for his confidence, has recently acknowledged that China's progress in space technology is impressive and accelerating. That's not praise. That's recognition of a new rival. Behind every Chinese rocket, every module, every mission, there's a pattern. It's not random innovation. It's national synchronization. Government, private startups, universities, and the military operate in a coordinated rhythm. Every advancement, from reusable rockets to lunar bricks tested on Tiangong's exterior, feeds into a single roadmap, the International Lunar Research Station, ILRS, planned for the 2030s. This is what makes SpaceX nervous. Not competition, coordination. While SpaceX builds faster, China builds smarter, with state-backed scale, shared data, and unified goals. And that's why the West's usual advantage, innovation speed, might not be enough this time. By 2030, the ISS will likely be gone. Axiom and Orbital Reef will still be scaling up. But Tiangong will be mature, expanded, and networked with lunar projects, telescopes, and a growing commercial space sector. SpaceX's Starship might finally reach Mars orbit, but Tiangong will control the most valuable real estate in near-Earth space. That's not a defeat for SpaceX. It's a wake-up call for the world. Because the race isn't about who gets to Mars first. It's about who builds the foundation for humanity's presence in space right now. And right now, that foundation is glowing red and gold above our heads. For years, everyone assumed the space race was a one-man show. Elon Musk versus physics. But while the spotlight stayed on Texas and Boca Chica, China turned its quiet, methodical engineering into something unstoppable. No fanfare, no tweets, just results. So when people say, China's space station just destroyed SpaceX's plans, they're not talking about explosions or failures. They're talking about strategy, about how a once latecomer just outmaneuvered the leader through precision, patience, and purpose. And that's what makes this story shocking. Not because SpaceX fell behind, but because China finally caught up and moved past. Tiangong isn't just orbiting Earth. It's reshaping the balance of space power. In the rest of the world, we're just starting to realize how big that shift truly is. And this is exactly why Tiangong's rise matters. It's not just another milestone. It's a clear sign that the balance of power in space is shifting fast. The next decade won't be about who launches first, but who builds smarter, sustains longer, and shares more of space with the world. For viewers, the message is simple. We're witnessing history in real time, the birth of a new space era where technology, ambition, and global cooperation collide. And understanding it now means staying ahead of what's next. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Space Hub for more deep dive analyses into the future of space technology. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss the stories shaping our next giant leap. This is Space Hub, where facts meet the future and every discovery brings us one step closer to the stars.